Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and other conservatives completely embarrassed themselves in their attempt to cancel Bud Light. So I will get to specifically what this cancellation is about. I will also show you, of course, the reactions, the ridiculous reactions, and how they embarrass themselves in the process. And I will also get to how this has all impacted Bud Light. Has this really canceled Bud Light? Before I get there, since we are on the topic, and we'll get to what this is all about, I have released a new shirt on the merch store. So quickly here, this is my merch store, therationalnational.com/merch. It redirects to a fourth wall site since they're the ones that thankfully handle everything. But scroll down here, see everything here. And oh, what's this? A Pride shirt. So there is now a Pride shirt, and I will get one to replace this one because the green screen is not working with the green lettering in my logo. So a great Pride shirt here. Fantastic. Good stuff. Awesome. Amazing. Really good. I'm not sure what I'm saying, but there you go. And by the way, I personally respond through video message to every single purchase on the store. So if you care to get a personal message from me, there's another reason. If you really care that much, there's another reason to grab something on the store and support this channel. But now let's get to what this entire story is about. Actually, before I even do that, I want to show you one of the most insane reactions to this, to what set off these conservatives. Because before you see what set them off, you may think, oh, it must be insane. Because you have Kid Rock here. You're going to see what he does. Just going crazy over this. So here's his reaction. And in fact, I may have to censor some of this because of how YouTube works with their algorithm. But let's play this.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible. Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
All right. So he bought several boxes, it appears, of Bud Light, really hurting the company by buying boxes of their beer, just to then shoot them. Now, again, I may have had to cut some of that out because of how YouTube works, but if you want to watch this full ridiculous video, I mean, it is what it is. But I will link to it below. I may show you screenshots instead when he gets to the craziness. But you see this, you may think, oh my God, Kid Rock is really angry. This must be a serious, serious thing that Bud Light did. What did they do? This is what they did. Dylan Mulvaney is a trans activist and trans influencer. Here she is on Instagram. This is the video that Dylan Mulvaney put up that set off Kid Rock and other conservatives, and I'll get to the other reactions in a bit here. But this is the video that she put up.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya!
That's it. That's it. This is what this is what set these people off. How in your emotions, how soft do you have to be for a sponsored Bud Light post by Dylan Mulvaney, who, I got to be honest, I don't follow. Like, I didn't know who this was really till I saw. I'm sure she's very famous, but I know who this was. But now I do, thanks to Kid Rock. So thank you, Kid Rock. This is like, how soft do you have to be for this to set you off? It's a basic sponsored post. Bud Light understands the vast majority of people aren't completely nuts are not going to be bothered by this. And I'll get to, as I said, I'll get to how this has impacted them. But that's it. So to be clear, as Kid Rock pointed out as well, Bud Light is under Anheuser-Busch. And the reason I am showing you this is because one of the hilarious reactions is from Kevin Sorbo, also a MAGA conservative here, writing that I've always preferred Busch Light anyways. Buddy, Busch Light, Bud Light, under the same banner. So, and to be clear, he was responding to, since this tweet was that he responded to was deleted, he was responding to this from Clown World saying Dylan Mulvaney is the new brand ambassador for Bud Light, and that's not even true. It was just a sponsored post. But whatever, even if it was true, who cares? Like, it's so stupid. Sharing the journey, this tweet also blew up. This is another MAGA individual saying, I've officially made the switch. Went to the grocery store today and bought Miller Lite. Miller Lite beer to replace the woke Bud Light beer. No more supporting woke companies with my hard-earned money. No more supporting woke companies. You know where this is going. Miller Lite has been open and proud for decades. So they have a whole page here about how they support the LGBTQ plus community. Their ads go way back. I think this is from like 2010. Great to see you out. The Miller Lite ad with a gay couple. Their history goes back to the late 90s, early 2000s. They were out in support of the gay community. So it's weird to switch from Bud Light to a arguably even more progressive company with Miller Lite, at least in terms of their advertising. Again, these are massive corporations. They do this because they understand it helps their brand. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it. It helps their bottom line. But regardless, if you're going to make a statement, it's weird to switch to Miller Lite if you're angry about the support for Pride. Marjorie Taylor Greene, here we go. So also embarrassed herself here, saying, I would have bought the King of Beers, but it changed its gender to the Queen of Beers. So it's made to chill from here on out. So she has switched to Coors Light. Again, you know where this is going. So Coors Light, of course, very in support of the LGBTQ plus community. Molson Coors received a perfect 100 score on the Human Rights Campaign Corporate Equality Index for 18 years in a row, making us one of their best places to work for LGBTQ equality based on our internal policies and external practices. So Miller Lite also, of course, falls under Molson Coors. Here, the Surfs shared all these various Coors Pride logos. Here's one. Here's another. Them at the Pride Parade. More love, less hate. Refreshingly proud. Out is refreshing. Coors Light. Refreshingly proud again. There you go. And they even go back to, interestingly, 1978 apparently. Coors became the first brewer to institute a non-discrimination policy based on sexual orientation. How about that? But Marjorie Greene going from one woke brand to another woke brand. You can't escape it unless you're going to go to, maybe a local brewer who is, for some reason, against the LGBTQ plus community because they want less sales. I don't know. But these conservatives love their crappy beer. And to be fair, so do I. Coors Light is an enjoyable beer. Bud Light, less so. Coors Light. Miller, I like me some MGD. Not going to lie. But they have nowhere to go because all these companies want to make money. So in terms of how, first of all, the history on conservatives and their cancellation, they're very anti-cancel culture, unless it comes to what they care about. So these boycotts are often comically short-lived, such as when former President Donald Trump called on his supporters to skip drinking Coca-Cola after the soda manufacturer spoke out against restrictive voting laws in its home state of Georgia, only for online sleuths to quickly point out a half-drunk bottle of Diet Coke, I'll show you this in a second, on his desk just a few days later. So he cancels Coke, and then a few days later takes a picture with a half-drunk bottle of Diet Coke. Each week, it seems as though conservatives have a new nemesis, from Ben & Jerry's and Coke to M&M's and Oreo. Here is the Trump thing. So Don replied here, adorable, you all got dressed up to play pretend. Stephen, can you confirm this is not, in fact, Pepsi? So there's the picture they took. They attempt to hide a bottle of Coke behind a phone here. You zoom in, this is a bottle of Diet Coke. So I'm not sure why you just don't move it out of frame. Like, to put it behind the phone, just push it out of frame somewhere. There has to be another desk somewhere. Just he couldn't even keep this going for more than a couple of days. Now, in terms of how these cancellations from the right have impacted companies, Rolling Stone is a great piece here. Again, I link to all my sources below the video. If you want to go through this, you can. Companies that get woke aren't going broke. They're more profitable than ever. Saying here, sorry, Kid Rock, Bud Light's going to be just fine. And it also, just going to the point that Kid Rock and other conservatives have bought Bud Light just to pour it out and destroy it. How does that hurt the company? You're still buying their beer. But they go through a bunch of companies here, whether it's Keurig, all these, I forgot about almost all of these that were so-called canceled by the right. United Airlines, which they should be canceled for other reasons. Terrible company. But Carhartt, Disney, go on. Nike. None of these companies that they've tried to cancel have actually been canceled in any way. And on that point, Bud Light, this is from Alejandra, Bud Light has hit an all-time peak in Google Trends. There's no other ad campaign that has raised this much brand awareness for Bud, not even the Super Bowl. All for the cost of a 6-pack and a single custom can for Dylan Mulvaney. By any metric, this ad campaign is a massive success. So you can see here comparing Bud Light, Coors Light, and Miller Lite. Bud Light is the blue line here. Bud Light has not seen interest like this for at least months. So I guess the Super Bowl is, around, is that when that happened? But here we go. Boom. All from this single sponsored post from Dylan Mulvaney. So it has only helped Bud Light. And I'm sure they will all forget about this. We all will in a few days. They'll go back to buying Bud Light or whatever. It doesn't matter what they buy because they all support Pride. As do I. Don't forget, get your Pride shirt if you would like one, and you'll get a personal message from me. But regardless, whatever. These people are clowns. Absolute clowns. And once again, they have showcased just how embarrassing they are.